right? Yeah, there's some.
Nope, that's not it. Really?
Jack can't get the door open.
How do you turn it? To the left or the right?
Well, you see, when the lock is on the right side of the door, you turn usually the opposite of the
I
lock.
was trying, but it's not going.
Okay. What the heck is wrong with this lock? I can turn it this way, but I can't turn it this way. Maybe. Yeah.
Get in.
If we can get in the door.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mr. Kind.
It's dying. Well, boys, we're going back to the house. I was in here yesterday. I locked this last night. Oh! Yes! We got it! Behold, the new Hoffman shop.
Welcome to the new shop. Let me take you through it really briefly before I go into the specific areas that we've already set up for working in. We moved into here 3-4 weeks ago and we've been setting stuff up. We've had to, grind the floor and clean it up a little bit. But this new space is so much larger than the old shop. We moved into a new building here that is 6,000 square feet. In the next couple months, we're going to be adding offices, a leather shop, a wood shop, a metal grinding shop, a shipping room, an inventory room. We're going to have a full kitchen and men and women's bathroom in here. So all of this area is getting transformed. I'm not really going to stay in here very much. I want to show you the upfront area in a minute. So the building that we moved into is a pretty old building. It was built in the 60s. This is actually the original fire department for the town that I'm in. So it's a very solid built structure, and it has been all sorts of businesses over the years. We've had people just dropping in, checking out who the new people are in this building, old timers coming in here and telling me the history of this building. There's apparently been so many different businesses in here over the years after the fire department left. Anything from hardware store to rollerblading rink to having professional wrestling matches in here. Just all sorts of different businesses and events have been held in this building, so it has a lot of history. The building came already with 3-phase power and a 400 amp service, so that was a big plus for me to get into this building. That's enough electricity for us for quite a while. Everything just was already in place here where we needed to do very minimal to get moved in right away. So that was a huge plus for us. Before I go up and show you the temporary setup that I have in the front of the shop, I just did want to mention that Nick's Boots has sent me a pair of boots that I'm wearing right now. I'm breaking them in. So Nick's Boots is a handmade boot company, and they have been wanting to venture out into like the blacksmith market. They want to start selling to blacksmiths because they believe that their boots are a good fit for them. And I'm testing that out. So they're brand new on me. There's a very long break-in time of about 100 hours. So I'm not wearing them like all day yet. I'm just wearing them for a few hours. My feet get sore, I take them off. So I'll keep you guys updated with how well these boots work, because it is important to have good shoes when you're working. My last ones fall apart after a year and a half. They just completely fall apart, and that's a $200 pair of boots. These aren't that much more. So, but they're handmade. So I'll see how well they hold up after they break in. Keep you guys updated, but I don't want to talk about it too much right now. So let's go ahead and move on to the front of the shop. So if you look over here at the front third of the building, Chad is actually grinding back there on some axes. But we've got the forging station set up on one side with some grinding, which is where Chad is. And then on the other side of the room, we have the wood shop. All the axe handles and wooden, anything that's wooden is going to be done on that side of the room. The building is 45 feet wide. So just having wood on one side of the room and metal on the other side of the room, there's plenty of distance there to where they never actually cross, which is nice. The constant struggle in the old shop was just mixing wood and steel. It's a big fire hazard, and it makes you get the wood dirty, and it's just nasty, and it's not something that is really recommended in a shop to have wood and metal mixed into the same shop environment. So we've got them separated. Got a couple big fans in the new shop to move some air. One thing that is super nice, which I've been looking forward to in a new large building, is having just the volume in this space to where it never overheats. So we've been forging for half a day straight, and it doesn't get above 82, 85 degrees in here when it's 85 degrees outside. Whereas in the old shop, it would be well over 100 degrees and it would just be terribly hot. So it doesn't get hot in here, which is nice. Having these big fans circulate air through here, and the 14-foot tall ceilings really takes up all the hot air and moves it out. The latest acquisition in the new space is the power hammer. This is an Anyang HS 165 pound ram self-contained power hammer. The thing is an absolute beast. I couldn't be happier with this power hammer. It hits so incredibly hard. We've been able to reduce the amount of time that it takes us to forge an axe pretty dramatically already, and we're still learning, and we're only going to get faster. The machine itself weighs over 6,000 pounds, so it's very sturdy and very rigid. I've only had it for 2 or 3 weeks, but so far I'm really impressed with it. I mean, we've got space here for just metal storage, and actually most of this stuff is just trash. It needs to come out of here, but we've got so much space now to where I don't need to worry about getting stuff out. Like if these were sitting around at the old shop, you wouldn't be able to walk in there. There's no room for this. Whereas in here, it's nice because it's just like casually sitting here and we don't have to do anything with it. So let's go ahead and walk into the forging station. It's still a pretty small spot, which is what you would expect from a production environment. And we're still arranging stuff. We're still working on the placement of tools, but the forging area is still about 10 feet wide by 15 feet long, probably about 150 square foot forging area. That way, when you're going from the forge to the power hammer, you're not taking that many steps. You know, you're losing heat with every second that goes by, so you want to be pretty efficient, pretty close by to everything. So the forging station is really not getting that much larger. Everything is contained right here. And I'm actually able to set up all of my anvils for the first time, all on display. Never had room for that in the old space, so I'm going to be getting more anvils too, because I have a horrible addiction, but can't help myself. So I'll be getting some more anvils, I'm sure, down the road. We got a new quench tank, or slack tub, not a quench tank. This is just water for cooling off things while we're forging. And one thing that Chad always complained about while we were forging axes was that the water in the 5-gallon buckets that we would use to cool off the tongs would overheat, and then it wouldn't cool down the drift and the tongs fast enough. So I made Chad happy. I got him a big 250-gallon water tank. I hope that's big enough for him. So our water never overheats now. And it's nice to put tongs on. We've got plenty of room for tongs. and stuff. We're going to be setting up a second forge here on this table so we can run 2 batches at the same time. We are also getting a new 50-ton press to go alongside of the Big Blue. We're getting the 50-ton Anyang press, so I'll have 2 50-ton presses plus the power hammer all going at the same time. So let's go over here where Chad is to the grinding area. I won't get too close because it's kind of noisy, but this is all very basic still. I haven't set up anything that has to do with knife making. A lot of our small tools are still in boxes, in storage bins, because we haven't gotten it out yet. Right now, this shop is purely set up for axe making. I didn't want to do anything else until I get the renovations done. The axes are what we're most backed up on. That's our top priority. So right now the shop is purely set up for axe making. So he's just using the Wilmot grinder to grind axes. Over there I've got the buffer set up, also grinding belts on the wall there. So we've added a chop saw to the shop, whereas before I was using a chainsaw to buck up lumber because I didn't have room for a chop saw. This is a whole lot nicer than using a chainsaw. And I also have the lumber, stored right next to where we use it. Whereas before, I either had to drive 15 minutes to my mom's house to get lumber, or put it in my dad's storage building. It just wasn't a good situation. So now it's all right here. We mark the wood, bring it up on the table, buck it up with the chop saw, go over to the bandsaw. We got a new bandsaw. Cut it up on the bandsaw, and then they can be stored underneath here on the table. From there, they'll go over to the vise where we draw knife the eyes of the axes and fit the heads to the handles, which is what is actually being done a little bit today. These are just being fit to the handles now. It's cute little axes. So after those heads are fit, the handles are knocked out and they get ground. We've got a second belt grinder now set up just for wood. So it gets ground right there on the belt grinder and sanded, and then it turns into this product, ready for the axe head to be sharpened and put back on there. So everything is set up right now for axe making. This is a temporary setup. But honestly, this setup is already way better than what I had in the old shop. Our production is already increased. We're almost doubling the volume of axes that we were doing in the old shop in the last 6 months. We're already almost doubling that here. So it's really good, and it's only gonna get better, only gonna get faster for us. So we're hoping to reduce the lead time in the next 6 months and start taking orders again and start making new products. We have quite a few ideas for new products that are steel and leather. We're going to be doing a range of leatherworking products also. This little office over here was already in the building, and we'll go in there briefly. This is where all of the leatherworking is done, and the inventory is held, and all of the shipping is done. Here's our inventory. Everything's really messy. Nothing's organized right now. Office space back here. Just got a couple laptops, printer, shipping. We got peanuts, which are we have the biodegradable peanuts that we use, boxes and leatherworking right there. This whole area, this whole office room right here will be getting turned into 3 separate rooms, large rooms, when the remodeling is done. Because right now it's very cramped in there. That's probably the only area in this shop that is cramped right now. Everything else is just so wide open that we don't know what to do with it. All in all, I just wanted to give you an update on where we are because we haven't posted a video in a while. We've been in the process of moving and everything. So all in all, we're in a new large space that is going to allow us to expand however we want to. Because more people to help, more equipment, making stuff faster, making new products. But as always, the quality is never going to go down. It's always going to go up. Or if anything, you know, we would never let it go down. It would either stay where it is, which is already fantastic, or go up. And actually, just in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks that we've been in here in this new space, the quality and the quantity has gone up. It's really awesome just to have just the space plus the new equipment. Just all together makes it easier to work in and actually helps us make a better product. We're not bumping elbows all the time. I mean, as you can see, Chad is grinding axes right now while we're doing a YouTube video, which would not have been possible in the old shop. So this channel is going to be very similar to what it has been in the last couple months, but also it's going to be evolving a little bit into seeing the whole business rather than just focus on me, where you don't see Chad or my mom who does the leather working. And we're going to be hiring new people in the office and all that stuff. So you're going to be able to see me talking and working now that we have a new microphone. While everyone else is working, you're going to be able to see videos where Chad is working on specific products, or we're going to be doing leather working videos where you're going to see my mom making leather working products. So you're going to be able to see all these sorts of new facets of the business, and the channel is going to be evolving a little bit more into all the things that we normally do, where I'll do the custom knife projects and everything, but also following along our business as we grow and evolve and make new products and show new skills. So that is pretty much it for this video. Exciting new shop, lots of things to come in the future. I'm up here on a mezzanine right now. Isn't that cool? I could never do this in the old shop. But anyways, be on the lookout for the next video where I'm going to be bringing a customer's axe back from the dead, showing you how I will restore that axe and clean it up. If you got excited about all of the new ideas, video ideas that we have in the future coming up, be sure to subscribe so you can see those videos more in the future. We're going to try to keep this channel alive and going. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.